Hi, I'm Darren Shan. My new book, Zom-B, comes out on the 27th of September. It's the first of a 12-book series, an exploration of life in the world of the undead, full of shocks, twists, bloodshed, gore, and more bodies than you could even possibly imagine. I think it's Darren Shan at his darkest and most shocking, so I hope you enjoy reading them as much as I've enjoyed writing them. Zom-B is a 12-book series about an ordinary teenager called B. Smith, who comes from a bit of a troubled background. B's dad is a bit of a racist. Well, not a bit of. B's dad is a full-on racist and a bully. But otherwise, B is a pretty normal teenager, goes to school, likes to hang out and get up to mischief at times. But then zombies attack and B's life is changed forever. I know there's lots of books about zombies at the moment. I want to do something that was very, very unique. I didn't want to do the ordinary type of a zombie story where zombies are just attacking from start to finish and humans are worrying about how to deal with them. So I tried to come at it from a different angle. The zombies in my books, yes, they're traditional sort of zombies, but I've tried to put a new spin on them. I've tried to do them in a way which is unique to this series. And I've come up with this idea of what if there was another kind of zombie, as opposed to the ordinary zombie that we all know and love. So I think Zom-B as a series is going to be very, very different to anything we've had before. So hopefully it's going to be a lot of twists and turns and shocks along the way. I must say I've had more fun with the characters on this series than on any of my other books. They're a real cast of ne'er-do-goods. They're just some of the most horrible, twisted, delirious characters I've ever come up with. There are crazy clowns. There are mutants who like to kidnap babies. There's actually, I don't want to talk about that certain character. All I can say is there's going to be a real grab bag of over-the-top, grotesque characters. And I'm not even talking about the zombies, those are the other ones. I never really scare myself when I'm writing because I always know what's coming next. I think horror is really only effective when you get the unexpected, when you don't know what's around the corner. As a writer, you're in control of everything. You're like a puppet master pulling strings. And so I always know where the story's going, what's going to happen. So I've never scared myself, unfortunately. I would like to, because I love horror, I love that scary feeling. But as an author, you're actually more removed from the story than your readers are. The readers get to enjoy the fun bit of a book. They get to read it. As a writer, you've got to do all the hard work behind the scenes, which is nowhere near as much fun. I didn't encounter any racism because I grew up most of my life in Ireland. And Ireland of the 1980s was a very economically depressed country. So there wasn't really a big mix of cultures. Nobody was really emigrating to Ireland. It has changed over the last 10 or 15 years. And we've had far more people coming in from other countries with different cultural backgrounds. But as a child, I was quite removed from that. But over the last 10 or so years, I've spent a lot of time in London. And it was over here that I really began noticing it. I think almost as an outsider, you pick up on things which maybe you don't see if you're living here every day. And I wanted to deal with that. I wanted to explore racism in the 21st century. I want to get readers thinking about it. I'm not writing books with a message. I'm not trying to ram a particular message down readers' throats. But I just wanted to write a story that involved in the mix of all these exciting, dramatic, horrific scenes. I want readers to be thinking and looking at themselves, looking at the society they're in, and asking questions. I think a good book will leave you asking questions and looking at the world in a slightly different way, and hopefully Zom-B will inspire readers to do that. My favourite zombie film would have to be Dawn of the Dead, the second film that George Romero did. And what was really interesting about that is it wasn't really about the scariness of zombies. It was a focus on these small group of humans who were trapped inside a supermarket, or a shopping mall, as they call them in the States. And it was about the interactions between them and how society is broken down and what happens. And that's really what interests me about zombie stories, is when you take zombies as your springboard into something more interesting and something deeper and more involved. And Dawn of the Dead stands out. If you take the zombies out of that, that would still be a great story. And yeah, for me, that's probably my favourite one out of all the zombie films I've seen over the years. Will I be touring? I'm actually going to be embarking on, I think, a 3-year tour, Zombie on the Road. With my past series, I've always toured on a book-per-book basis. But with Zombie, the books are coming out very quickly. It's going to be every 3 months. I wanted to write a serial, like the old Charles Dickens books, where you get short books released very, very quickly. And so rather than try to construct a big individual tour every 3 months, it's going to be one big undead tour. So I'm going to be on the road for a long, long time. It's sort of like a Metallica tour that just goes on forever, or Rolling Stones where it lasts 2 or 3 years. So yeah, I'm going to be out on the road. For me, that's the fun part. I love touring, I love meeting the fans. As for how they're going to react, I never like to jinx myself. Each time I hope they're going to love the books. I think there are so many twists and turns in this that they will get into it. I'm hoping for a really positive reaction. But they will be the ultimate judges. The fans will always tell me what they think. They never shy away from being brutally honest. So hopefully they're going to enjoy it. I certainly liked writing them, so hopefully they're going to enjoy reading them too. I can't tell you too much about the second book. The zombie books are coming out one every 3 months, but each book ends on a huge cliffhanger, or almost every book. And so I'm very reluctant to discuss what happens after book 1, because if I do that, I'll be giving away a big plot twist at the end of the first book. In Zombie, particularly in the first book, there's just nobody knows what's going on, nobody knows what's happening. I want to drop readers into this world and take them on an adventure into the unknown. And so I don't want to really talk about what happens at the end of book 1, but I would have to, I was going to talk about book 2. So all I'll say is, the second book picks up shortly after the events of book 1, and it takes us into a whole new world of fear and terror and uncertainty. And yeah, it's one to look forward to, I think.